are they? These pastors are not warning them of God's wrath. No matter what you do, you die and go to heaven. You got your wings. Ain't thinking about or heard about his judgment. Or the fiery anger that he said is kindled. Celebrate Halloween with gladness. Not knowing this is why he's angry. We were doing Halloween way back in the day, in this day. We just call it something different. Read.
That was it there. Next precept, Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 10 through 13. Once again, that's Jeremiah 16, verses 10 through 13. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, Wherefore hath the Most High pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Most High our God? Then shalt thou say unto them, Because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the Most High, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my laws."
Is that not what we're doing right now? This is exactly what we're doing right now. Fulfill the prophecy. His spirit will move his true prophets, his true servants, and they will do this what it says. This is why we're accepting, brother. Our father sin taught us sin. We have not kept his law. Read.
"And ye have done worse than your fathers.
We're doing worse than our fathers.
For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart."
So now we think we can serve God how we want to. It's how we feel, what we think, what we believe. The imagination is on what kind of heart?
His evil heart.
Oh, no. God knows my heart, though. What he constantly called the heart? Evil. They don't take that part. Yeah, God said my heart evil. All you hear, God knows my heart, like you subject to sin. He knows that you subject to sin, so he's got mercy on you. Like, you just can't get it right. The Bible says, no, you're an evil heart. Right? Read.
"That they may not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers. And there ye shall serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor."
So why are we dying up in the streets? Why are these women and men getting killed in these prisons? Why are we to tell? He ain't showing us no favor. He's not protecting his children because prophecy must be fulfilled. Right? Only ones that he protecting is those keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. The disobedient will fulfill prophecy. Read.
Next precept, Isaiah chapter 1, verses 1 through 6 and 9 through 20. The book of Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1. "The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah.
Judah representing the southern kingdom, Jerusalem representing the northern kingdom. Read.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Most High hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Most High. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are all gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds, bruises, and petrifying sores, that have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment."
So when our people go to church is sick, they're not getting healed. It has not changed. The whole head is sick. Do you see how the Most High see us now? As evil seeds. Why they teach us that God loves us so much. Yeah, he loves us, but he's showing you how he feel about his children. Right now, a lot of us got bad children that we love, but they still bad. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, I love you, but you still bad, and I'm hoping you if you keep it up. So Most High say he gonna kill you if you keep it up. Read.
Verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Most High, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah.
So the Most High is not talking physically right now to the people of Sodom. There's no people of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's destroyed. But our leaders are just like the leaders of old of Sodom and Gomorrah, teaching the same things. What are we doing right now? Our so-called leaders are siding with these Sodomites. The same brother that you said you was upset with for passing all these homosexual laws. It's like the leaders of Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? Who's ruling the world right now? Sodomites. Read.
To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Most High?
So all this praying, singing is going on tomorrow morning. What purpose is it to the Most High? Read. None.
I am full of the burnt offerings of rams, and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he-goats. When ye come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand to tread my courts?
So Most High is telling them right now, they think they're doing what's lawful. They're bringing unblemished animals, all kind of stuff to the Most High. But more importantly, their heart is wicked. They are not keeping his laws. They just going to the temple or going to church with the same mentality, brother. I can sin and get this ox, and Most High gonna forgive me. He said, I don't care about no blood, no goat. What I care about is you, circumcising your heart and being obedient. I'd rather have obedience over a sacrifice. See, it's the same thing. These are the children of these people. They're doing the same thing. Read.
Bring no more vain oblations.
Vain drink offerings.
Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting.
Now, many people use the scripture and say the Most High said we're going to do a Sabbath and that kind of stuff. He's not saying that. They're his Sabbaths. They're not our Sabbaths. They're his Sabbaths. They're his holy days. But it's how we operate. It's the feasts and stuff, that how we're doing it, and the guys that we're doing them to. We're not doing it to them. We're worshiping the zodiac sign, the Queen of Heaven, Diana, Moloch, all these foreign guys, and then under the instructions of the Most High. And the guys of the Most High. Read.
Your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hated.
Now, new moon or new month is a change of season. They're also a Sabbath to the Most High. Read.
They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them.
He's tired of it right now. These churches, he's tired of it. Read.
And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood.
Hands are full of blood. Does that mean everybody here killing people? No. They're teaching their children iniquity. They're showing them an example of a sinner, and their children are coming up worse than them. So, as Christ told the Pharisees, you make the child of God twice the child of hell. So we're making our children twice the children of hell by the examples that we're saying. We're bloody. We're killing our children, putting our children in the fire with ourselves. Read.
Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow.
So if we did this right here, he would accept what he said he's weary of. Wash you, make you clean. Learn to do well. How do we learn to do well outside of the instruction of righteousness? Read.
Already got plead for the widow.
Hey, come now, 18.
Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Most High. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land.
So he says, I will forgive you. No matter what you have done, I'll forgive you. Right? So if your sins, let's say it's for the garment white. It was red like crimson. If the Most High washed the garment, forgave all his sins, You think Most High is committed him to keep it white, or get it right back bloody like it was?
Keep it white.
So can we keep on asking Most High for forgiveness and doing the same thing, getting it stained and stained and stained and stained? You get tired of watching. Yes. Sister.
I was just thinking the 7 times 7 down 7 that he was thinking about was in reference to
Forgiveness?
your
Forgiveness of
brother.
one some
Yeah,
broken
yeah.
else.
Yeah, that's just what, like, it goes against everything that we taught, you know, when they, because they don't teach us to forgive one another when we act up against each other. They tell you to take yourself, remove yourself, you know.
Hate your brother. So he said, if you be willing to be obedient, he will forgive you. So obedient means what? You would serve him. You're doing it as he said. You will go to the right or to the left of this. He'll forgive you. If you don't, he won't.
But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Most High hath spoken it.
So what happens to the rebellious? We devour it with the sword. Okay? That's why a lot of us are dying right now. Okay? And the whole world about to be destroyed. Except for a small remnant. Keep his laws, keep the commandments of God, and testimony of Christ. Where we at?
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
We getting there, my people.
Once again, that's Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. And it reads, For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Sounds familiar? Yes.
Sottish is stupid or dumb. Like literally, we looked it up this morning. It's stupid and dumb. He's always saying his children are stupid. Yeah. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
So they sound good, but they only wise to do what's against the Most High. Next precept.
Next precept, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. And it reads, My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
So, again, do y'all see why I said Christianity is evil? If we forget our law, he forget our children. What else? Read verse 7.
As they were increased, so they sinned against
So as
me.
we populate and have more children, our children sinned worse against him. So what did he do?
Therefore I will change their glory into shame.
We're being regal, holy people, into what we are right now today. Ashamed and reproach. Next precept.
Next precept, Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 19 through 31.
Thank y'all for bearing with us. You know, we had the problem earlier today, put us back for the hour or something.
Yeah, really, as far as real time, we undertook, you know what I'm saying? Like, as of now, really.
Yeah.
Somebody asked the question.
Oh, somebody is you still on TV?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, what is
It
that?
said,
After that cut off, I
isn't
went
it true when we don't follow the commandments of a higher, we are saying a higher, I don't want to be like you?
Yep, exactly.
Matthew 5:48. Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Keep
Exactly.
it, you know. So, yeah, if you contrary to that, you're saying you don't want to, yeah, exactly. Yep.
Brother, brother.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 19 through 31. And it reads, And it shall come to pass, when ye shall say, Wherefore doeth the Most High our God all. Where do you read that? 5 Jeremiah 5:19.
Oh, 19.
We didn't get that, did we? Okay. I thought thinking earlier. And it shall come to pass, when ye shall say, Wherefore doeth Ahijah our God all these things unto us? Then shalt thou answer them, like as ye have forsaken me, and served strange gods in your land, so shall ye serve strangers in a land that is not yours.
Boom.
I feel like we read that.
Keep going.
Okay.
Something like it.
You probably
Okay.
read it earlier.
Come. Declare this in the house of Jacob, and publish it in the house in Judah, saying, Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, saith the Most High. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea, by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it.
You see what Mosiah said? Like, hey, you're not gonna fear me? I'm the creator of everything that you serve. You serve the sun, I created that. You scared of when you go to the ocean and you hear the ocean roar, you know the ocean's violent. Well, his strength is way greater than the roar of an ocean. But you put fear, you have fear of a man, not the creator. Wow. Read.
But this people hath a revolting and rebellious heart.
Back to that heart. What is it?
Revolting and rebellious.
Rebellious.
They are revolted and gone. Neither say they in their heart, Let us not fear Ahijah our God, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter in his season. He reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait, as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great, and waxen rich. They are waxen fat. They shine. Yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked.
So these leaders become rich, waxing fat, because they teach deceit. They're working with the enemy. Read.
They judge not the cause, the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy do they not judge.
So how do they prosper? They don't judge the cause. So therefore, in the houses of so-called God, you got full of iniquity. No one standing up for the Most High, judging the cause. Right now, any of you who trying to be a member of this church and you're fornicating, we're going to constantly talk. We've done it. And if you got somebody you sleeping with, if y'all ain't getting married, and if you refuse to say you ain't gonna stop, then you gotta go find someone to worship the Most High. But if you got a sister that you've been with 10 years, 15 years, change your life. Stop sleeping with her, stop sleeping with him, and ask her to marry you. Ask him to marry you. All that other stuff, you gotta come to the heart. Okay? But so it has to be a judgment. We cannot let people just sit here and do what they want to do. Everybody here who was fornicating, that father know they married. We all came in here doing something wrong. But there's judgment in the church of the Most High. But this is why these pastors have become rich. There's no judgment. They tickle your ears and let you do what you want to do because they're doing it too. See? Read.
Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Most High? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely.
They do what?
Prophesy falsely.
Read.
And the priests bear rule by their means. And my people love to have it so.
So right now, Pastor said they celebrate Halloween. What was church gonna get on out of that? Because they love it so. They love sinning. Remember, the people who say that God knows their heart, he says this people have a revolting and rebellious heart. So therefore, the pastors don't stand for judgment and say it's okay. They have grace because the people love to sin. So therefore, they work iniquity. Should not the Most High visit you? For the Lord should judge his people. Starting with the leaders. Read.
And what will ye do in the end thereof?
What would you do in the end there when the Messiah comes? Okay? Next precept.
Next precept, the book of Maccabees, first Maccabees, chapter 1.
So now we're going to show, this is the Grecian Empire, which they had taken out of the so-called 66 or the regular so-called Bible. This is out of the Apocrypha, okay? So they're taking out the total history of the Grecian Empire, okay? So we're going to show how they started getting us to forget our law, okay? Now our people do it willfully. And some of them did, most of them didn't then. That little baby be getting it. Chapter 1, verse 11. Now this is the time of a so-called Alexander the Greek. Or they call him Alexander the Great. So it was prophesied in the book of Daniel that there'll be a third world power to rule over God's people. And this is the world power, Greece. Right? But they took it out of the Bible. So let's get it. In this Bible of mine, this is the Holy Bible, King James Version with the Apocrypha. When King James put a stamp on this, the Apocrypha was inside. Right? In 1600s, after that, they took it out. It really exposed them. But let's go.
And it reads, first Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11.
Now check it out. What happened back then is still going on to this day. That's why I say all your leaders are wicked men. Read.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Now what the Most High say in the law? Make no covenant with these people. Do not read that. But our leaders are saying what? Let us go make a covenant. Because since we departed from them, we had none but sorrow. No, since you departed from the laws, you had sorrow. And nothing to do with you. You're not supposed to be messing with these people. Read.
So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein,
Perverse.
that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the
They
heathen.
signed their name in blood. Read.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
Today it's called the Olympics. This is when they start to lure our children through sports.
So like in my ad, also in the column it says, and also set up an open school at Jerusalem.
Start teaching them what? The way of the heathen. Right?
Just as they do today.
Because you're going to see that our education was not the way of the heathen, it was the law. That's our true education. We can go to these schools. Our law is our education. Read.
And made themselves uncircumcised,
Defiled.
and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to ask y'all a question. This sound like Martin Luther King to y'all?
Yep.
It don't? Did anybody say no? I heard no. He sold them, he went to the heathen. And did what? Worked with them. Made a covenant with them. And said, let us do as the heathen. I had a dream. We'll all be together. Is that not what these brothers back in the day did? I'm just asking you an honest question.
Sound like me.
Sound to you? Okay. Back in Bench, and even though back in Bench, he didn't do this right here.
No.
He was teaching separation. Okay, yes.
We should not be doing education. We should be reading the Bible.
Brother, it's a thing. They made it a law. Right now, hopefully next year my son will be homeschooled, but still, they're making laws to what? Truancy? So if it's a law, so your children go to school, what's happening? They come and take it from you. They're forcing you to be as them. They know who you are, brother.
But from the law that we supposed to follow, we supposed to deny that anyway and keep on doing the law of God.
That's true, but let me tell you something about captivity. Most High said he would serve your enemies. Right now, we got a lot of brothers and sisters talking about they sovereignty. How do you have sovereignty? Sovereignty, first of all, means that you're basically over the law. No law applies to you. You're sovereign, like Most High is the sovereign Lord of the universe, sovereign God of the universe. Okay, no law has has anything, no effect upon you. So how do you have sovereignty in your enemy's kingdom? So you can say what you want to say, but they're still going to show you who's king. So what they're going to do, come take your children. Even though we homeschool, we still got to follow their curriculum. You see what I'm saying? But the whole thing good about the homeschool is that we can, teach them our education and teach them as they get older. These things you have to know, their lives. This is our true education. But we take them there. Like right now, my son 5 years old, brother. All they teach him is straight lies. Got him in every day. I got to hear something else. The flag thing. Every holiday is just full of nonsense. But this is an attack on Israelites. This is see, prior to this world power right here, the other kings allowed the people to serve their own gods. But Grecians figured it out. They learned from one of our prophets, Prophet Balaam. He told them how to take us down. So now you're seeing the effects. He said the only way you can defeat them is to teach them to sin. Send their young men after their women. And then they would lure them into start serving their gods. So Balaam taught the Gentiles the secret, because prior to this, we're going to read about it, how they couldn't touch us, brother. When we was obedient, angels fight for us. 10,000 would destroy 200,000, 180,000 one night, overnight. Real talk. And they know that to be factual.
So in other words, if we start following the law, but still doing the law of the world, we can keep the law at our home, teach our children to follow God's law and just learn about the world's law so we know how to fight it at the same time.
Exactly.
Stay away from it.
Exactly. And then they would see themselves as they grew up by your example. Example of a righteous father, a righteous servant of the Most High. And then they would see, they'd be able to distinguish or discern the difference between evil and good. See, because these brothers have to do the same thing. They have to be examples. So remember, it says that they taught their children to do worse than they did. But not all of us did that. Some of us stood strong for the Most High. They taught our children to do what's right. And it says, save yourself from this perverse generation. So we got to do it in this generation. Even though this world is crooked, we still got to be righteous. Like teach our children to be righteous.
I've been taught from coming here and hearing the things that you're saying, and it's like I've been taught the wrong thing all my life, and it's hard to turn from no way. The only way I can turn from it is being in the care of God.
And part of being in the care of God is being with his people,
Right.
being re-educated, which is the first principle of the oracles of the Most High. You must learn again, brother. Like all of us had to. You're no exception. We all was there. Okay? Let's get it.
Picking up at verse 41. Same book, same chapter. Picking up at verse 41. And it reads, Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
All should be who?
One people.
You see where the strategy started? With the Grecians. But they don't care about the other nations. They want us. Right? Read.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the
It
king.
don't matter about the heathen because they all serving the same guys anyway. They are right now. They still serving, even so-called atheists still celebrate Christmas. Muslims celebrate Christmas.
Right.
So they don't care. They still serving the same guys. There's the people that don't. Read.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Even also many of the Israelites, through fear, consented, left their laws and their God. Read.
And sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days.
They made laws against the Most High's laws. Read.
and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols,
Churches. Read.
and sacrifice swine's flesh,
Who?
and unclean beasts, swine's flesh.
An abomination. They did it on purpose. Now people eat swine flesh and won't turn back. They love some bacon. But this is where it all started, brother. Read.
That they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manners of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
See the plan? And to the end, what?
They might forget the law.
See, these people are for longevity, brothers and sisters. That's the whole plan. It's implemented right now. And down the road, they're trying to forget the laws and the ordinances. Have we not? Are they not successful? So when they say they have secret societies, the Most High say ain't no secret. He's telling us. This is what they mean about. Keep the children of Israel in perpetual servitude. Are they not doing the same thing? Are the churches teaching you to keep the festivals, the ordinances of the Most High, His holy days, His Sabbaths? No. They following the same blueprint from the Grecians. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I don't even know when the Sabbath day is supposed to be.
Seventh day. How long you been going to church, brother?
I've been raised in church.
Okay. And then you study the Bible, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying now, brother? They did a marvelous job, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
See what I'm saying, brother? They cold. They cold, brother. It started right here, though. Let's get it.
And whosoever
So, I'm sorry. The Sabbath is the seventh day, which is what?
The 7 days ain't that Sabbath?
My brother, you got it right. It starts Friday night, sundown. Most high days start when the sun sets. It's sunset to sunset. Friday night to Saturday night, sun. So now the Sabbath's over with. But it's Saturday, Friday night is Saturday to the Most High. Okay? Yep. Let's go.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die.
He said what?
He should die.
He said what?
He should die.
Get it? So imagine these mamas with their babies. We're going to read about these babies, what they did to the babies.
This chapter, that's coming up.
It's coming. So, through fear of death, we compromised. And now, today, everywhere you go, every store you go to, you can buy you a slab of rib, about what, $5? Beef rib cost about $20 per piece, about that big. But it's all the abominations our people are eating up. Because they have mastered this plan. Right? Read. So we at
Verse 51. In the selfsame manner, wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice, city by city.
The Most High sacrifices or the Gentile sacrifices? Swine's flesh. He commanded them by law to put pig on our altar, which is an abomination to the Most High. Read.
Then many of the people
So, what a sacrifice is, for those who don't know, watching this on YouTube, whoever it is, a sacrifice is a cookout, right? They're not just cutting off these animals' heads and throwing away. They're eating. This is a sacrifice means that an animal had to die for you to eat. So when the priests are doing a sacrifice, they're cooking the animals and feeding it to the people. So it's like a big cookout, a barbecue. Okay, that's all it is. And with that comes, I said, a ceremony, a festival, right? But people think a sacrifice like these people cutting off chickens' heads and drinking blood. That ain't it. This is a cookout. Okay, let's go. So they're inviting all the people to come to the temple and eat this pig, which is abomination to the Most High again. Read.
That family union.
Exactly, brother. That little grill going on in the backyard. That's the sweet smelling savor that he's talking about, right?
Man, just add real fast too. I'm glad he said that, because just like how most families, the majority of our people always pray before the meal as well. Same thing with these sacrifices. They pray and sacrifice unto these other gods, and then they partake.
Think about it.
So,
Our people are praying and don't even know what God's name is. They praying to Jesus. Christ never said pray to him. He said pray to the Father through him. Our people are praying to a Roman deity, a Grecian deity, Zeus.
Con.
See, they're not praying to. You can't pray to Christ. Christ prayed to the Most High.
I know now, they teach that Jesus is God.
Brother, let's know upon that too. Is Christ God? Check it out. We'll show you that he ain't God at all. He wasn't God in the flesh on earth, none of that. He was his son, always, his servant. Okay, let's get it.
Then many people of them were gathered. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places.
Now, these Israelites talking about are the ones who did not forsake the law. These people willfully kept the law to like save their son's life, save their own life, save their daughter's life, right? But Christ says many will try to save their soul and lose it. So although they may have lived a couple more years, a couple more days, they're in hell right now and getting tormented. Okay? Read.
Even wheresoever they could flee for secure or safety. Now, in the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side.
An idol and swine's flesh on this altar in Jerusalem. Read.
And burnt incense at the door of their houses and in the streets. And when
They
they
partying and having a good time. Read.
and when they had rent in pieces the books of the law,
Wait. They
ripped in pieces.
no. This is a white man's book, though. These are white folks, people. They did what when they found our records? Rent means tear apart. Read.
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire.
So why would the white folks do this to their own records? Could this be a very important book?
That's why it's out.
My brother said that's why he took out the Apocrypha. That's why he took out Enoch, Jubilees, all Book of Jasher, many records. They took it out because it exposes the lies. In detail, the Bible gives an overview of thousands of years. Our records go in detail, for real. So the Grecians, any record they found of ours, they tore it apart, threw in the fire. Now you see that the God of the Hebrews and the Hebrew people are really real. Our history is real. So that's why, as the brother said, when we go to schools, they start our history with us in slavery coming out of Africa. They don't teach you all this. That's why you got to take this whole empire out of your Bible. It was shown how important this Bible is to our people. Now do y'all see how important it is for us to read this book? Why would they burn it if it wasn't important for us? Read.
Verse 57. And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Thus,
Now, they ain't doing this to the other nations. To the Israelites. They don't care about it. They if the book of the law is found, and you read it, they killing you. Read. So imagine what the effect that had on our people who was cowards. When they would teach their children. Read.
thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now, the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them.
So again, what effect would this have on the cowards? Will they not break God's law to save the lives of their children? Christ says, if anyone, you put anyone over his father, mother, son, father, child, or land over the Most High, you ain't worthy of him. I feel I've done this in the past and will do it in the future. Read.
Howbeit, Many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat anything unclean.
So did death force them to sin? No. The remnant, the saints of the Most High, the true servants of the Most High would have and will die for his law. They would not compromise, even in the face of death, which is why Christ says, be faithful even unto death. Don't let death get you to lose your soul. The fear of death caused you to lose your soul. Right? Read.
Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was very great wrath upon Israel.
Now, think the Most High let these people die in vain? That's why people right now, so Christ will come so you can eat pork now. We must get back to the same resolve that these people had. So we would die with defiling our temples, our vessels, our bodies with defiled meat and break his laws. But many of our people compromise. Okay? Next precept.
Next precept, 2 Maccabees chapter 6, starting at verse 1.
Gotta give you the true history, my people.
And it reads, not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
Now, why are they doing this? They want to keep dominion. So you see how it started. So do you see the root of Christianity? Is Christianity in cahoots or confederate with the government? You see what this is a commandment. Now it's not even a commandment. They don't have to be. They get them because they control the houses of God. One time they make a law and kill people. They kill people, they put fear in people, so their children would do it willfully. Read.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius.
Jupiter is one of their gods. Okay? Olympius. The Olympics. Read.
And that in Garism of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
Who is their god? An idol called Jupiter was the defender of the Gentiles. So when our people right now are participating in Olympics, who are they worshiping? Who are they showing reverence to when they run around with a torch?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. It's crazy, ain't it? Let's get it.
As they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and revelings by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places.
Now imagine that. Prostitution and abominations, everything you can think of these Gentiles are doing in the Most High's holy place, in his temple. Has it changed? Are they not still doing the same thing in these churches? Read.
And besides, that brought in things that were not lawful. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Read that part again.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So with fear of death, with fear to be in prison, what would I call myself? A Grecian? Get it? Now, look at the ripple effect that will trickle down through centuries and generations. They had a law. Now people listen to, we are whatever master say. I'm black, I'm a Negro, I'm colored, I'm African, I'm African American. See the effect? See, we don't know this part of our history. That's why he took out the Bible. Read.
And in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept,
Another what? Feast of Bacchus,
Greek god.
Greek god. Read. So they're having festivals, holy days to their gods. They just call it something different then. But right now, that's why I tell our people, you don't know, these are their holidays. That's what they're doing. And what? It says what? It says,
And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, or talking about the day of the king's birth.
it says, in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were brought by bitter constraint. So did they come willfully? No. They came under sword point, like we're not even gunpoint. Okay? To eat of the sacrifices, the defiled meats. They didn't have to. They could have died. Right now, I told my mom a long time ago, because she came with that old lie from back in our slavery time. Well, all they had to eat was the pork, so all we had, no, our people could have stood for law and die like these people. We could have ate vegetables, as was brought earlier. You didn't have to eat swine's flesh in chattel slavery. You could have died and stood for law, because believe it or not, our people knew the law. It was passed down orally. Okay? The Most High has always had. There has never been a time on earth where there was not a remnant of people that did not know its law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Now, would the whole world know it? No. But guess what we did have? Our Bible. Right? So those who was in slavery that could read, could have read, swine flesh was abomination. And they could have told the people it's abomination. And I believe a lot of them did do that. And those were the first ones they was killing. So, wasn't there, but no, not people, it's always been a remnant that was soldiers for the Most High. And those were the ones that they made a public spectacle like they did right here in this day. So after they had put fear in the people like they're doing right here, our people love chitlins. Okay?
I don't see how, man. I never could. Them things nasty. I swear. Like, what? You like that?
Let's get it.
And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Now do you see why the Most High called these people enemies? See, what we don't know is the war has always been against the Israelites. So that's why today I said these pastors are teaching peace to a people that don't know that they are under attack. They're not poisoning the food just to kill their own people. They're not poisoning the air, destroying everything just to kill the nations. The Israelites have been scattered through the four corners of the earth, so they're just casualties of war. But the attack is on the Israelites. Everything we touch is poison. They're trying to kill us off. Thanks to the love and the grace and the mercy and undeserved kindness of the Most High, we still here. We would have been gone. But this war is against us. Well, we have weapons of weather war now, weather warfare. They're destroying all kind of stuff. Which way, fast, shape, form they can attack us, they're doing it. Yes.
That's why they say you have to cut the time short.
Yeah, cut the time short, or no flesh will survive. Read.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the...
I'm sorry, let me get the most important part. For the elect's sake.
Con.
Those ones who we're reading about right now, people who had that resolve, who would not compromise with Satan, but would stand up for the Most High. For those, he loved those who stand up for his law for their sake. He will cut the time short, or all flesh will be out of here. Read.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles shall be put to death, that might a man have seen the present misery.
So
then might a man have seen the present misery.
So once these women and these brothers seen the present miseries of their brethren, it put fear in their hearts. Read.
For there were two women brought who had circumcised their children, who when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
Then the Most High said these people would not
Have
care
no
about
regard
you,
for
and no regard
For the older, the young.
of the young. The evil, yes.
One more comment to add to that. In present days, like people read the Bible and don't believe these stories, but then how could you not when you know that they fed our babies to alligators?
Right.
So it's like they act like this is so grievous, like egregious it didn't happen, but
That was a
This
couple,
is-
couple hundred years
they
ago.
gave us syphilis and let us suffer. And I mean, they still had survivors. I think the last man probably just died. I mean, so
But-
hanging from trees.
Yeah, but the problem is, our people are not really reading the Bible. What they doing, they get a text message, have you read your Bible? So they read a couple of scriptures that come up through the little app. Or the pastor give you 3 scriptures, you read that scripture. Or you read this little pamphlet that the pastor gave you, and you read what they tell you to read, but you're not reading the Bible. The Bible says, fill thy bowels with this road. From the beginning to the end, search diligently. Go through the precepts. In the middle column, there's precepts. Search. If you don't understand, go through the precepts. They're not reading these stories. They're reading scriptures. And led with the doctrine of the liars, the deceivers. So they're not getting what they're getting right now. Yes.
He was feeding them prosperity and all that.
Prosperity in the time of war. Like I said, how can you have prosperity on the plantation? The Most High simply said you will only be, what? The tail, oppressed. You will not prosper in your ways. So, is that not against what the Most High said? How you get prosperity? He said you would not prosper. Read.
Verse 11. And others that had run together into the caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered to Philip, were all burnt together because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
Now here's a great people who lack your understanding of how to operate on the Sabbath. Most High still receive their obedience with love and joy. Because the law states that we can't make war on the Sabbath. It don't state that we can't defend ourselves on the Sabbath. So in their knowledge that they had, they stay faithful to it. But later the brother gonna say, wait now, if we don't fight on the Sabbath, the nation is gonna destroy us all on the Sabbath and kill us. But the Bible don't say you can't fight on the Sabbath, you can't make war. Okay, read.
Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. For it is a token of his great goodness, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. For not as with other nations, whom the Most High patiently forbeareth to punish, till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us.
So because we as children, he whoop us immediately. Right? He waits to them bastards, sin get to a head. Right now, sin it's gotten to a head. They're about to get punished. Right now, you can't get any worse than it is right now. Right? But with his children, like right now, if our own children act up, we whoop them. Some other child, we don't automatically whoop them. Right? We prepare them. But your child, you're going to tell about the frame. Right? So, for real. So same thing. That's what he's saying. Because he loves us, it's to the chastisement, turn it back to learn from these examples. Right? Read.
Lest that, being come to the height of sin, afterward he should take vengeance of us. And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us. And though he punish with adversity, yet doth he not never forsake his people. But let this that we have spoken be for a warning unto us. And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in few words. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment, as it behooved them to come, that are resolute to stand out against such things, as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of the wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, that in doing so he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. You mind if I clarify that just in case anybody missed that? So what happened there was the people who were trying to get him to eat the swine's flesh, they pretty much was like, all right, man, you just use some meat that you got that's lawful for you and act like it's swine's flesh so we can trick everybody else into thinking just say it's swine's flesh. Say you did it just so we can push this along. So just wanted to clarify that just in case that, went over.
Because that would do what? Deceive the people, right? Read.
But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his great head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by God.
What's our education? The holy law, right? Read.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, or 90 years old, were now gone to a strange religion. And so they, through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age, and make it abominable.
Written out the book of life. Read.
For the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Wherefore now.
So he knows something happens after death if you sin. Read.
Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such as and one as mine age requireth, and leave a noble example to such as be young, to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. They that led him, changing the goodwill they bare him a little before into hatred, because he foresaid speeches, proceeded, as they thought, from a desperate mind.
The what? 34 and 36. You don't think so, 36.
No.
Let's get it. Ezra, chapter 4, verse 7. Ezra. No, in the 66. It's the same book. They just cut it short and put the rest of the apocrypha. Ezra, chapter 4, verse 7. Now that was the Grecian Empire. We're going back to the Babylonian. Okay? No, this is Persian. Almost there, my people.
Ezra chapter 4, verse 7. And in the days of Artaxerxes wrote Bishlam, Mithridath, Tabil, and the rest of their companions unto Artaxerxes, king of Persia. And the writing of the letter was written in the Syrian tongue and interpreted in Syrian tongue. Rehum, the chancellor, and Shimshai, the scribe, wrote a letter against Jerusalem to Artaxerxes, the king in the sword. Then wrote Rehum, the chancellor, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their companions, Denites, and Apharsachites, and Tarphalites, and Apharsites, the Archivites, the Babylonians, the Sushanites, the Havites, and the Elamites, and to the rest of the nations whom the great and noble Anaspar brought over, and set in the cities of Samaria, and the rest that are on the side the river.
Now, for those who understand what's going on right now, this is when when the Syrians had this. Well, anyway, when the Syrians came, they removed all the Israelites out of the city of Samaria. So when Christ tells the disciples don't go into the land of Samaria because there was no Israelites there, so they replaced the Israelites with these people from generation to generation. They put in Gentiles. So at that time, the gospel was strictly for the Israelites. But after Christ's resurrection, he told them to go to the lands. Read.
This is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Artaxerxes the king, thy servants, the men on this side the river, and at such a time, be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and bad city, and have set up the walls thereof, and joined the foundations. Be it known now unto the king that if this city be builded, and the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and so thou shalt endamage the revenue of the kings.
So whenever we came back home out of captivity and rebuilt our city and our walls, what did we do? We served the Most High for a while. And we had his protection because we was obedient. So we're obedient. See, they call this the rebellious bad city because they always want us to serve them. Mm-hmm. See? But when this city was built, with the walls up and the garrisons put up, they knew that they would not obey the kings, that the rulership goes to us. So they would have to pay tribute. We would fight them in war, take them back down, take our cities back, and they would become our servants and pay tribute to us. So they wrote a letter to stop this building because they know through history what occurs. When people come out of captivity and pray to their God and lie to him and say that they're going to act right, that he comes back to them and protects them. Right? Read.
Now, because we have maintenance from the king's palace, and it was not meet for us to see the kings dishonored, therefore we have sent and certified the king.
So see, the king's dishonor means lose his rulership. Read.
That search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers.
So the Gentiles have records outside of our records, confirming our records. Read.
So shalt thou find in the book of the records, and know that this city is a rebellious city, and hurtful unto the king and provinces, and that they have moved sedition within the same of old time, for which cause was this city destroyed. We certify the king that if the city be built again, and the walls thereof set up, by this means thou shalt have no portion on this side the river. Then sent the king an answer unto Rehum the chancellor, and to Shimshai the scribe, and to the rest of their companions that dwelt in Samaria, and unto the rest beyond the river, peace, and at such a time. This letter, which ye sent unto us, hath been plainly read before me, and I commanded, and search hath been made, and it is found that this city of old time hath made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein.
Now, who ordered us? Remember, the Most High earlier said He cast these other nations out. Mm-hmm. But to the nations, from their perspective, it's different than the perspective of our God. It caused rebellions and bad, it caused insurrection, and took down kings. The Most High had us doing this because, truthfully, that land was ours anyway. Okay, read.
There have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which have ruled over all countries beyond the river.
King David, one for instance. Go ahead.
And toll, tribute, and custom was paid unto them. Give ye now commandment to cause these men to cease or stop, and that the city be not builded until another commandment shall be given for me. Take heed now that ye fail not to do this. Why should damage grow to the hurt of the kings?
Have y'all ever heard of these stories of these kings that ruled the world, called Israelites? Do you get what the nations know about us that we don't know? They know. It's in their records. For a fact. So check the records of your fathers. These people, once they build this wall up, their God is going to fight for them. And you will have nothing to do with them. Nor can you destroy them. Next precept.
Next precept, Esther chapter 3, verse 8 through 10.
Let me hear that. Esther
3, 8 to 10.
Esther chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Y'all ready? Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 precepts. Verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the province of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore it is not for the king's proper to suffer them or to allow them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business, to bring it unto the king's treasuries. And the king took the ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which is the Edomite. Agag is the great-great-great-grandson of Esau. Okay? Who is he? Who are they? The Jews' enemies. So right now, these same people are ruling the world right now. And who are they? The Jews' enemies. Okay? So, let's go to Maccabees, 1 Maccabees 3:48. Okay. Show you that this is nothing new. So when you go to these churches, see this white Jesus up on the wall. This is nothing new. Okay? Huh? Okay. Verse 48, chapter 3 in the 1 Maccabees. And they laid open the books of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. So this whitewashing started a long time ago. Because if they put themselves in our records, right, and change the color of the characters of the Bible, years later it would brainwash people. It would make people believe that they are the people. So when they go over to our land in 1948, we believe that those are the people of the Bible because Jesus is white. You see what I'm saying? Mary's white. Moses white. So them must be the people. I mean, the Bible said that the Yahshua was not white at all. That his feet was burnt as bronze in the bronze as burnt as what's it? As bronze burnt in the furnace. Okay, even the Most High. Okay, with afro. Okay, with woolly hair. Psalms chapter 81. Moses was a dark-skinned brother, as we know. When one of the first miracles, Most High had him put his hand in his shirt, and it turned white. He wouldn't put his hand in the shirt and come out the same color that it already was. That's not a miracle. Okay? But it's known that the people are color.
Once again, that's Psalms 81, 8 through 16.
Sandwiches smell pretty good over there. Onions?
All from that on that salad.
Let's get it. Verse 8. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel, if thou wilt hearken unto me. There should no strange gods be with thee, neither should thou worship any strange god. I am Ahijah thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken unto my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up into their own hearts' lusts, and they walked in their own counsels. Number 1.
16.
Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of Ahiah should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever. See what I'm saying? He would do all nations. As I say there, he would destroy every nation that did not want to serve us. And those of nations that want to serve us, he would spare. That's what the Messiah is coming back for. As I said, any nation kingdom of people that will not serve him, he said, bring them before him and slay them. So he's coming to fulfill the law. This is the law. Verse 16. He shall feed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. Nothing that our heart desired, he wouldn't have gave it to us. But we thank him for his mercy, for his undeserved kindness, and his love for us. That he has sent his spirit into the air and into the world these last days to revive his people, to bring us back to him. This promise must be fulfilled in his children. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 16, verse 26. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 26. This is why I constantly encourage my people to read this book, read this book, read this book, read this book. If you have so-called idle time or call yourself being bored, read this book. Listen to what the Most High says in his precept. Everybody there? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 26. You there? Okay. That thy children, or Ahiah, whom thou lovest, might know that it is not the growing of fruits that nourish man, but that it is thy word which preserved them that put their trust in thee. Y'all get that? Do you see how important this is? Man must not live on bread alone, but on every utterance coming forth out of the Most High's mouth. This is what truly nourishes our people, his word. So this as that food spelling over there, this how this Bible must be spelling to y'all. You get it? Last precept, Jeremiah chapter 3.
Yep.
Verse 15 through 18. This prophecy has been fulfilled right now, people, real time. And I pray that y'all all have the ears to hear and the eyes to see that only the servants of the Most High will do this. Okay? These are the men that the Most High has sent to spread his gospel. Okay? If they're not doing this, they're not his shepherds, they're not his pastors. Verse 15 says, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass, when ye be multiplied and increase in the land. In those days, says Ahiah, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of Ahiah. Neither shall it come to mind. Neither should they remember it. Neither should they visit it. Neither should that be done anymore. At that time, they should call Jerusalem the throne of Ahiah, and all nations should be gathered unto it, to the name of Ahiah, to Jerusalem. Neither should they walk any more after the imaginations of their evil heart. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the lands of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto their fathers. Now, did this say anything about a church? Because the Christians teach that it's the church that will get these blessings. It's a people, us. This is when we're coming into our kingdom. Those that are obedient. So Judah will be joined with their brethren. Both kingdoms, northern and the southern, will be reunited in peace. We will come back home and rule from Jerusalem. The Messiah will walk us, lead us home. He would bring us to our own land. Which I'm gonna read that in a minute. How far I'm going? 18?
Yeah.
This for those who may not know this. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Because our kingdom is promised and will come to pass. I'm going to do 1 through 7. Anybody there? 14, 1 through 7. For Hiah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers, Gentiles, should be joined with them, and they should cleave to the house of Jacob. So again, do y'all see the order? The Gentiles must cleave to us, not us to them. They must learn about our God from us. And the people should take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel should possess them in the land of Ahiah for servants and for handmaids. And they should take them captives, whose captives they were. And they should rule over their oppressors. And it should come to pass in the day that Ahiah shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. That thou should take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how have the oppressors ceased, the golden city ceased? Remember, Babylon the great is falling. And Ahiah has broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is prosecuted, and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. My people, those that are obedient will be in our own land with the Messiah, breaking forth and singing. Do y'all want to see that day? Let's break the bondage of the hypocrisy and the lies, and get back to the law, 7 commandments of our fathers and of our God, our higher. So I hope that through this lesson, all those that may have questioned this Bible have had an ear to hear. Hope that this has shed a light on where these religions stem from, the enemy. The Most High never gave us these strange religions. He gave us laws, 7 commandments, and ordinances to follow. He gave the children of Israel a way of life. The whole world must learn to do and follow. Okay? With that concludes our lesson. Yes, sister.
We had a comment, I am so thankful for the teaching through this truth. I now understand Romans 12 and 2, where Paul said, be not conformed to this world, but by the renewing of your mind. It's about being re-educated.
Who was that?
Somebody on YouTube used to be you.
Oh, great comment. Great conclusion. With that concludes the lesson. Let's close in prayer and break bread. Anyone have any questions, comments? Any questions or comments?
May I just add real quick before we wrap up what we talked about earlier? So, kind of, I guess what I drew from the lesson, I came to the understanding after reading the lesson, just based on where I'm at in my personal reading, that after this lesson, I don't see it being possible for anyone who had an ear to come to any other conclusion of who God's people are, or who they truly are, based on the fact that all throughout the scripture, throughout history, and what we're going through now, when these people fall away from the Most High laws and serve other gods and do as the nations do, they always go into captivity. So in so many words, and as the prophets, as the likes of Jeremiah, the things Moses warned us of, and even Christ, they always came warning us, trying to turn us back to the Most High laws for that redemption to be, to be forgiven and to, get what the Most High promised us. So
Exactly, and that was the role of all the prophets. Mm-hmm. The Most High sent them to speak His words, mm-hmm. to warn them and to inform them,
get us to repent.
Yeah. So if we repented, and many times we did, and we went back home, and we did rebuild our city, and we did take back what was ours. Mm-hmm. But then we fell short again and again and again. The Most High constantly kept coming back to us. He turned his back. He kept forgiving us, kept forgiving us, kept forgiving us. This time, it's the last time you've been in captivity. He sent his son. That prophet is the one that Moses said that any person that don't listen to this prophet will be destroyed. So all those who listen to the Messiah, he will save. And all those who don't, he will destroy and establish our kingdom here on earth. And we will rule with him. Okay? In perfect peace, as it is written. With that, shalom.
Shalom.
I know that'll go pills. Not no pills.
Hey. We talking. Junior, your daddy called.
Junior, what you doing? Come on, man.